Good morning, everybody. It's another Gravity Ace dev stream starting. It is 6:17 a.m. Tuesday, October 19th. I'm sleepy. Plan for today, I think, might be this World 2 sector wrap. I don't think I'm going to do any drawing today. And I don't think I'm going to do any sound effects today. I'm going to do a chore task that I need to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. So, of course, to do this, I need to remind myself how this is done. Yeah, this is the screen I want to, this is the screen I want to replicate, and then I'm probably going to do some coding as well to unlock this second campaign, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. I'm still waking up. So, let's see. All right, so I guess the first thing to do. This is where all the levels are stored. I think the first thing I want to do is actually create a starter campaign. So let's just create something. I should have this remember your last choice. Alright, we're going to save this as S2. And then we're going to copy this into the game. Right there. So this is the first set of levels, and this will be the second set of levels. No, this is going to be a whole second act. So it's not there won't be a new tutorial or anything. It's just going to jump right into like 20 more levels to play with all new challenges and blue icy worlds and all the new stuff we've been making. Now I just need to find where that scene is for choosing. I don't even know what it's called for choosing the levels. Game over. Level chooser. That's probably where it is. Chooser. There it is. All right. Oh, hey. Aaron TTV. Nice sprite art. Thank you very much. So this is the sector map. It's a scene called Chooser, and I think... Well, let's see. Each one of these. How does this work? Okay. So there's sector 1, which is a node with a script. Yeah, so this is a sector script, and it's got the levels in it. And then sector 2, 3, 4. And the sector knows what campaign it is, sector number, sector 2, sector 3, sector 4, and then each of the levels is a scene as well, and each of the levels knows what level number it is in that campaign. Okay. So I called this chooser, but what I should probably call it is name it after the campaign. So let's do that. Let's do that first. Let's call this chooser S1, because that's what I'm calling this first campaign. And then I'm going to search for every instance where I see chooser. Oh, wait. Chooser. Come on, baby. What is going on? All right. Yeah, so, I mean, you can see already right away, I can see I've got all these places. On the start screen, you can go to the chooser, the level chooser. On the game over screen, you can go to the level chooser. And it really kind of needs, the game really needs to kind of keep track of what campaign you were playing. And then do some kind of switch here. If campaign 1, go to chooser 1. If campaign 2, go to chooser 2. Let's look at our config. Oops. Let's create a variable. Config current campaign equals 1. Let's be consistent. So this is the default. These are all the defaults, and then this loads all the config data to override the defaults. So that's fine. And then I can say, what's the function? Get? Yeah. So in here, let's see, in start, say if config.get current campaign is 1. Or is there a switch statement? It's match, isn't it? Match. Was that right? Did I do that right? Yeah, how do you like that? Remove case, remove brakes. You don't want to brake. You can use continue for a fall through. Change default to a single unscore. Okay. Let's do that too. So if the campaign is S1, it'll go here. If the campaign is S2, it'll go here. If there's nothing set in this config for some weird reason, it'll go to Season 1. Oh, that's why I called it S1, S2. Season 1, Season 2. Hey, Gamma. Welcome, welcome. Bum 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 bum. And then what is a user chooser? User chooser, I think, is the... This one doesn't need to change. Because this one, the user chooser, is for these user campaigns. And it just lists everything out in the user folder. So this is just... Whoa. That's just all the levels in here. It's just all this stuff that the users created for themselves. Get value in base nil. Level data. Get value, level sector. Level data is null, in fact. Level data, level absolute path. Levels. Test 9, Y28. That's weird. This is probably one of those levels that I imported wrong. Looks fine though. Alright, let's see if we can lock down this bug. See what's going on here. So weird. Well, let's put a break there and see if we can figure out why that's happening. How do you go in? 11. It didn't load the data. Couldn't load the data. Alright, let's print that. Let's say... Let's do that. Alright, what'd you print? 43, error 43. Error 43. Error. Forty-three. Parse error. It looks fine though. Oh, look, I've got this bogus stuff here. Yeah, this was the test stuff that I was loading, where gravity was cheese, starting fuel was A. Yeah, okay. So that's why it's not loading it correctly. And this, so I should put in, I need to put in, where the heck is the error? Here. If level data. No, if not level data, return 0? Same thing. If not level data, return empty string. No, let's not return empty string. Let's return error reading level. Right? If not, no, if level data, then do that, else I should probably, in fact, well, let's see if this works. So what I actually wanted to do, though, is to skip this. If it can't load it for some reason, I want to skip it. So let's go to that error. Yeah. If not level. How am I not? That's what happens when you wake up too early in the morning, folks. Oh, it's in campaign. Get level. Okay. Let's remove that. So I'm returning null on get level. And 0 for campaign. Get level sector. So in the user chooser, I must be calling get level. All right. So here I want to say if skip it. There we go. So now it's not even loading those bad levels. It's just skipping them. So ones it can't parse, ones it can't load, just don't show up in the list. I think that's the way to do it. Okay. And then yeah, so then I need an alternate. So this is working. This is going to S1. Okay. Do you also have a chooser chooser? Hey, Frank Dev. I am making gravity ace. Cheese gravity equals the gravity on the moon. Yes, a lunogravital unit. They're measured. Lunar gravity is measured in cheddars. No. Swisses. Here's what we're making. Alright, you guys got me clearing my throat during the trailer. I think the sun just came up. Sunrise, California. No, let's be more specific. Yes, no, it's not up yet. Oh my goodness. The sun doesn't come up until 7 a.m. now? That's just dumb. Los Angeles. Downtown cam. Let's look at this. Well, that's not current. It says live, but it's either right or the sunrise is wrong. Maybe it is right. 6:40 a.m. I guess it gets bright before the sun technically rises, right? Let's see. Mount Wilson cam. Yeah, sun's coming up. Why am I doing this? Because I'm procrastinating. Anyway, the sun's coming up. Cool story, bro. Alright, so my code here in Launcher, I'm keeping track of, no, not in Launcher. Here, I'm keeping track of what campaign we're in. If this config has been set, then it's going to choose the last campaign you were in. And yeah, and then if it's not set, yeah. If for some reason it's not either one of these, then it's going to do the default. It should always be one or the other, but just in case. And then this, I'm going to make a copy of this and call it chooser S2. And chooser S2 is basically same deal as S1. I think I'm going to add some cool stuff to it to make it feel more like a different sector map, because right now they're just identical. So I'm going to call this campaign S2. And this one is going to be S2 and S2 and S2. And I think I'm going to have 4 sectors just like this guy. And then each of these has also got to be S2. There's got to be a faster way to do this. S2, 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 S2. So now if I click one of these, let's run this scene. What's going to happen? All kinds of bad stuff happens because that doesn't exist. Yeah, the levels don't exist. Alright, let's do this. Let's just delete these for now. We'll delete these. And we'll delete these. And we'll delete these. We have one level in our sector, S2. Still not working. Invalid index 0. Inflated 0. What is inflated? Oh, okay. So, oh man. One of the things this level sector map is doing is it's trying to draw this sector border around all the levels, but it can't do that if there aren't enough levels. That's why it's broken here. Here. That's why it's not drawing it here either. Because this is, I think it's a tool script. Yeah. Child rect position plus child rect size over 2. To do this, yeah, to do all this, I need at least 3 points in this polygon. Well, that's easy to fix. Let's just create 3 levels. Right? Rats. Levels. Copy. Oh, can I actually open? No, I can't. Okay. Paste that. Open. S2. Okay. Now we do new. Do pop, 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 pop. Save that. In S2. Oh no, what just happened? Open. S2. New. Save to S2. What the heck? Okay. New. Save that. S2. Oh, wild. What is happening here? I think these buttons are interfering with this thing. That's annoying. Alright. Let's just handle one thing at a time. So, now I can go into here, and I can duplicate this. Call level 2. And we'll copy that, and we'll duplicate it again. And call it level 3. And now I can do this. And it draws the polygon. So this is the border of my sector. And now if I run it, it should be okay. Sector 62. Sector GD line 62, but it's not in the debugger. And sector GD line 62 is, yeah, it's this drawing thing. Maybe those errors aren't happening anymore. Let's clear that. No, it is still happening. Oh, because it's happening for these other sectors. All right, let's get that quiet first. Let's break there. And this says hull has an array. Oh, skip that one. What? Alright, well, it can't get inflated 0. What does this return if it can't create something? It returns an array. How am I going to do this? Let's see. If I do, let's just do print inflated and see what it is. It's an empty array. Okay. If not inflated, return. Let's do that. This should make these errors disappear. Alright. So now I'm not getting these output errors. Save. So just reload it just to make sure. Alright. Output errors are gone. Because it's trying to draw this hull, this border for these sectors, which there's nothing there. And then if I run the scene, okay, now I just get the one error. It's breaking on the error. And it's this. Invalid get index 1 on levels. Levels is an array of size 1. Why is it only size 1. S2, 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 S2. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Is it because I didn't copy it back, did I? I sure didn't. Alright. Alright, now I have 3 levels in my resources folder in the game. This is just the user folder. This is the resource folder in the game. Now it should work. Okay, there we go. Sector 1 is unlocked. I can launch it. It's an unnamed level because I didn't name it yet. I can play it. Yep, that's the level. I can quit to the menu again. And I can start. It's going to take me to S1. Alright. So, I also need... I should probably say here, config.set current, what did I call it? Current campaign. Like that. Oh, except this is going to be the whole path. That's fine. What if I did... that? Let's open up my config file and just make sure it's saving this correctly. Here. So as soon as I set that, it should save it. So as soon as I run this scene, it's going to set the campaign, and it should save that in the config file. And it should just save S2. And this is failing because this... What do you mean it's undefined? Invalid get index controls. Config controls. Do I not have a default for that? It's right there. Set. This is kind of tricky. So this is loading in the wrong order. I'm trying to do a set. From here, I'm trying to set this config value. And then config sets it, saves the config file, and then checks for side effects, like changing the volume and stuff. And one of the things it's doing is it's trying to set this config. But the problem is the config isn't ready yet. So none of this has run yet. and this hasn't run yet. What calls restore? When the game is ready, it calls restore. So I'm setting this before the game has fully loaded the config. So annoying. What would happen? So if I set this and then I don't do if I do this and then it saves it and then I don't do any side effects before it's ready, then what'll happen is none of this stuff will happen, but then it'll do a restore later when it is ready here, and then it'll just call it again. You know, a frame later it's going to call it again, and it'll load the defaults plus the value that it just saved and then run this again. So it should be okay. I can just say if this isn't if, how do I tell if it's ready? If it's been restored. Let's do this. Let's do var config loaded equals false. Here in restore, I'll say config loaded equals true. And here I'll say if not config loaded, return. Okay, so good so far. If I look in here, oh nuts, it erased all the settings. It erased all the settings. Because it hadn't loaded them yet. So there's nothing to save. It's really only because I'm running it in this weird way. Normally if I run the game right from the beginning, hold on a second, all the settings got erased. So see, when I did start this time, it went to S2. And now I should look, I'll have all the settings plus S2. And if I run the game from scratch, it's going to remember all that. S2, right? Because it's already loaded the config here before anything else happens to the game. And then start again, S2, everything's good. But when I run the scene from here, that config isn't loaded, and it blows everything away. wonder if I can do a call deferred here. That actually worked. Let's erase all these settings. Save it. F6. Start F6. Yeah, okay, but it's the wrong campaign. You know what? And actually, let's change this a little bit because I'm calling this. I know how I can solve this problem a different way. Let's do this. Delete all you. Delete all you. Delete all you. I mean, I could do a yield here. That worries me. I could do that though. But I could also just say in chooser config.set. Where is that config.set? Level chooser, level button. Okay, I don't want this here. This was in the wrong spot. That was just completely in the wrong spot. Instead, I think I want it in main, right? So when you actually start playing a level, it loads the level here, here. Yeah. If not, edit mode. I don't understand what's happening here. Oh, if there's no... So there's no current level and the game's not edit mode, go to edit mode. Okay. So it loads the level, initializes the level. So here, let's do it here. Here's where I could do this set. Config.set current campaign. Campaign.get level, get campaign ID. What is this expecting? A campaign path. Campaign.get campaign from level path. Game.current level. What a terrible line of code. Let's fix this. let's do this. Campaign absolute path equals that, 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 and then I can do current campaign. Okay, so this won't set that config until excuse me, until the campaign is actually started. So it's not going to set it here. So this won't get blown away. Let's just erase that. Start this scene. Config settings are all there. And then I start this level. And now, oh, let me start the level. And now we have S2. And all my other settings have been preserved, and I don't have to deal with any of that weird nonsense, deferred, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to make a note here in side effects. Hey, John, if you get a weird error here, like key doesn't exist because the config dictionary is empty, it's likely because you are calling config.set before the restore method has been called. Essentially, you're trying to update the config before the game singleton is ready, and it hasn't called restore yet. So the easiest thing to do is to just move your config set to some place where you are sure it's called after the config has been included. XOXO. John. All right. Let me read back this chat a little bit. How did I get the print right away? The script is a tool. Yes, the script is a tool. One of these is sector. That's a tool. Is level button? No, sector's a tool though. Some of these are tools, and that's I did that so that I could do this, right, and have this draw work. So as I add levels, I can kind of experiment with the shape of the border here and preview how it's going to look in the game. So it's a tool script. Will it work, terrible or not? Yeah, it worked. How much code in here do you think is genuinely terrible? Some of it. Some of it, well, genuinely terrible, I don't know. How do you define terrible? If it works, what's one of my favorite memes? I think I have this bookmarked. No, can't find it. Oh, I know. Maybe I saved it. I save all my favorite memes in a place. Here we go. Modified? Oh, here it is. but it does run. So it could be worse. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm pretty proud of my code, I think. I think it's okay most of the time. There are some things that if I was going to do this project again, I would do them a little differently, but not super differently. I mean, the big one is probably I wouldn't do this. Instead, I'd create groups. I don't know, I might use classes more. Maybe, this whole class name thing. Although, I get a lot of weird circular reference errors when I use that. It makes it kind of hard to use. I don't know, not a whole lot I'd change. I think my code generally starts out pretty terrible, but then I fix it, as I go. Let's delete that. So all that stuff I had in here about config loaded was possibly terrible. It was like a hack, and I had to write a whole bunch of extra code to deal with this, and it still didn't work right. That was bad. And I ended up just undoing it all. Yeah, but none of that's back in here, right? So I fixed it. This is probably not great. Return 0. Right, and then I have, where's that code? This isn't great. This is very opaque. It's like, what? Why? Why would this happen? This isn't clear what's going on here. Why is 0 special? I just have to remember, oh yeah, I return 0 if it can't load it. And I could put a comment here, but it's still not clear why, like get level sector. Maybe it should be something like campaign.validate. If campaign.validate equals could not load, then skip. Something like that would be more clear. But this works. I'm not going to change it. So that's maybe somewhat terrible. If not inflated, return. This makes sense, right? I try to inflate this polygon, and if I couldn't, then return. That's clear, but it's not clear why it wouldn't be inflated. Why would this fail? I might look at this one day and go, what? Why would I even check for this? How would this fail? This would be a good place for a comment, because I could explain that. What script was that in? Sector. Check if the polygon was inflated successfully. It wouldn't be inflated if there were too few points to inflate. Polygon has to have at least 3 points. So that's okay. This is okay, even though this was my initial implementation to show the level with this error, and then I decided later to not show the level at all. So this label never even appears, which kind of begs the question, why are you doing this? I still need to check if the level data is loaded. But I think I'm going to keep this because it's sort of self-documenting. Try to load the level data. If the level data is there, set the level name. If not, show this. The only problem would appear then if I go, well, this level shouldn't be loading. Where is it? Where's error loading level? Error reading level? Where is that appearing? And I'm looking at the screen and I won't see it. And it's not clear why I'm not seeing it because that's in a whole different file that hides it. Way over here. Where the heck was it? Way over here. This is where it hides it. So I'm hiding a thing here, and I'm trying to show, right, error reading level here. They're related, but they're very disconnected from each other. It's not clear why I wouldn't be seeing this if I'm looking at this code. Why wouldn't I see this message somewhere in the screen? So this is arguably bad. Because it's like conflicting code. This one shows the label, the other one hides the label. It's like, why? But I'm not going to change it. This I'm going to throw away. This is okay. That's okay. Right. Let's put a comment here too. Set the current campaign when starting a new level. This value is used to return to the correct. Actually, I don't need this though. Do I? This value is used to start the player in the correct campaign when they press the start button from the main menu. All right, so now I need to do a similar code. Let's put all this in here. This is all good, staged. And then let's go into chooser.tscene. In the chooser, reset confirmation. Button reset. Oh, I see. So if you reset, all right, so there's a function in here. When you're starting, when you're in here and you have a campaign, you can reset it. And if you reset it, it just erases all your progress. Okay. Oh, that was so weird. Shouldn't that have loaded chooser S1? Oh, no. Okay. It's loading chooser still. So I should delete chooser, first of all. Let's delete this old one. Nope. How is it loading chooser.tscene? It's not here anymore. I didn't. Okay. So if I hit reset, it's going to clear progress and then, right, go back. But I need it to go back to the correct one. Do I use custom resources? What do you mean? Saint Chapuli? Chapulis? What do you mean, do I use custom resources? I'm not sure what you mean. Alright, so here I would say... you know, and the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I don't want this to be an ID. I want this to be the actual campaign absolute path in here. So let's do this. And then let's do this. Oh, that's a different, same variable name, but a different variable. Right, right. Campaign absolute path. We're gonna just store that. And then here. And then here. This is gonna be like that. Yeah. Custom resources, right. I was experimenting with this. I forget who mentioned it to me. But yeah, you can do a new script. Yeah, fine. And you can say extends resource, right, like this. And then you can give it a bunch of variables like name, rank, serial number, use an expression. Is it like that? Yeah. So then once you have this, right, then in another file you can do load resource.gd. Right, and it's this. So you save this as resource.gd, you can load it, and then you can say resource.name equals blah blah blah, and then you can do resource saver dot unidentifier, unexpected token. Unexpected token. Oh. And then you can do resource saver dot save, and then you give it a path anywhere you want. Blah blah blah. We call it a TRES file. What's the other parameter? Why doesn't this give me complete? Okay, and then the resource, right? You can do that anywhere in your code, and it'll just save a data structure like this. And then later, if you need to load it, you can do resource load dot load and give it the path again. Right. So you have your resource file, which is just a GD script. You save it somewhere, resource GD, whatever you want to call it. Then later, when you want to use it, you can either load it like this, and it'll give you the resource back, and you can access it like this, right? Whoops. Or you can save it like this. Right? You can load this resource GD, change its variables, and save it. Or you can load this one and change something and save it. If it's the right type. Yeah, like that. Right? So there's different ways you can use it. I mean, there's none, really. I mean, it's just a different way of doing it. One thing is that resource files end up looking like this. Resource files look like this. Right? They have a lot of this stuff in it. They have stuff like this. I mean, it's basically just a config file, just like any others. But it's got all this extra stuff in it, and it's got like these pointers, and it's got, you know, it knows about types, which is good. It's just got a bunch of this stuff, so you can load and save the types. It's like serializes stuff, but it only works with built-in types. I think. Like you have to use these primitive types. So if you have a complex type or your own type of thing, you still have to create some serialization for it by hand. I don't know. I mean, it looks a lot. To me, it's you know, you're doing this kind of code, which is, and you get these classes which you can access attributes on, which is kind of nice. Is that better than? Oh wait, config file. I'm using config file for everything. So this is config file, and then I have a dictionary, and then config file new, load the config keys, right? Where's the save? Config file set, right? And then save. I mean, it's very similar. It's just a slightly different way of doing it. Whatever floats your boat. Some people like doing it one way, some people like doing another. Some people like the type safety and knowing what's in there. Some people don't. Some people like accessing their config values or whatever values as using dot notation. Some people like dictionaries. It's turtles all the way down, man. All right, where was I? So let's delete this. I don't want this anymore. Right, I was saving this as an absolute path. Checking if it's an absolute path. All right, so I'm going to put that in. Put that in. That I need to fix. That's good. All right, chooser. Close you, discard. Chooser. So here. The way I have these set up, I can be certain that the sector, there's always going to be one sector. And that sector is always going to have one level in it. But it's definitely going to always have one sector. And it's always going to be called sector 1. So in here, I can just say, that sector 1 has a campaign variable. So I can, so I can be sure that I can say var campaign equals sector 1 dot campaign paint, right? This is another thing. It's arguably terrible. And then I can copy this code. Where was it? Let's put this here. No. Yeah. Let's do that. Then also this. Whoa. Who was that? Holy shit. Hey guys. Kebab. Welcome, welcome. 55. Holy crap. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon. Or good night. Yeah, what were you streaming? I'll show you what I'm working on. Here's the trailer. This is the game Gravities. Thank you. Yeah, what's the link to your game? I hope it's the one I'm thinking of. Waiting for links. Robes. Oh, no site for it yet. You're doing it sneaky mode. Secret, top secret. Alright, I'm gonna have to go and look at those. Oh wait, this is gonna be, yeah.
The best thing to order is when you are sitting at soccer practice.
Mute. All right. So what we're working on today is we're doing a chore. It's my old Trello board. The list is getting smaller. 11 launch tasks remaining. I'm working on the World 2 sector map, which is, well, let me show you the first one. So I'm working on another map like this one with all the levels in the game. So this is Sector 1, or Campaign 1, with 4 sectors in it. And then I'm working on this, which is Campaign 2. And right now I just have some test levels in it. It's going to have 4 sectors as well. And I'm just trying to kind of generalize this code so that it can work with different sectors or different campaigns. And that's why I'm putting in these kind of statements here. I'm feeling good. It is 7:30. The sun is finally up here. X-Pilot. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of history here. There was Gravatar. There was Lunar Lander. There's X-Pilot, there's Oids, Solar Jetman, Gravatar, what do you call it? Pixel Junk Shooter, Asteroids. Yeah, there's a lot of similarity between all these games. This is my spin on it. All right, so I have this code, which is, we were talking about what's terrible code. And, you know, there's some argument to be made that any code that runs is okay. But there's also some argument to be made that just because it runs doesn't mean it's not terrible. And some of this stuff feels a little terrible, like this feels a little bad. But I think it's okay. I could probably make this not terrible, but it would require a lot more code. And honestly, this works fine, and it's done. I'm going to leave it. Oh yeah. Good luck with the daycare. I remember the pickup myself. It's always fun. Thanks for dropping by, and enjoy your day. I have been told I have the podcast voice, but really it's the podcast microphone. It's doing all the work. Yeah, if it doesn't run, it doesn't qualify as code. That's probably true. I don't know. We're getting all philosophical. All right, so I've got my sector map. Let's see. So that works, right? This reset should work now. And now I can search for another. Where else am I doing this? On the game over screen. Right. Game over screen. So on the game over screen, I go back to chooser, right? But, so, yeah, if it was the, if the current level begins with this, then it knows it's one of the built-in campaign levels that ships with the game. Otherwise, it must be a user level because it will be in user. And if it's a user level, it goes to user chooser. So here I need an extra condition that says basically this again. I need this again. Right? And don't need that. So campaign in this case is going to be campaign.get campaign from level path game.current level. Oops, there we go. Right, so when you're on the game over screen and you press go back to the level chooser, it's going to look at your current level, figure out what the campaign is, what campaign that level belongs to, and then if it's campaign 1, it's going to go to this level chooser, and if it's campaign 2, it's going to go to this level chooser, and if it doesn't know what campaign it's in, it's just going to go back to the first level chooser again. Same as this one. Hey, thanks for the follows, guys. Money, Mind Rage, thanks for the follows, folks. You played X-Pilot a lot at Georgia Tech, and your grades didn't like it. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, XO Random. Played it a lot at Georgia Tech, and your grades didn't like it. Yeah, you know what? I knew a lot of guys who, I mean, this is a bit older, but there was a game called NetTrek that we used to play. And I know a couple of my classmates who dropped out because of NetTrek. Fun overlay on the key combos. That is the ridiculous coding plugin. You can get it here. I think this is an old version. They haven't updated it yet, so you can go to the GitHub. I'll paste this in. You can get it here. It makes your coding a million times more ridiculous. Where was I? How do you feel about the maturity of Godot? I mean, it's fine. It's very stable. You know, it has just about everything I need. It has a lot of stuff I didn't know I needed. I think for 2D, it's definitely perfect. It's got everything it needs. For 3D, it does feel a little rough around the edges, let's say. In version 3, I haven't tried version 4 yet, but I've heard version 4 is going to be amazing for 3D. They're really focusing on 3D for version 4, which hopefully will come out soon. It would be a great Christmas present. But yeah, 3 is great for 2D. And I actually know I've made a couple of 3D games in Godot 3, and it's fine. Like, you can make totally cool games with it. Some friends and I did a game for VimGM 2. What was it called? Railway to the Moon. So, me and a couple of friends, we made this. And yeah, it's a great game. It was fun. It was pretty easy to make. And we shipped it. And I could see this turning into a full-fledged game, you know, somewhere. So there's nothing stopping you. You know, I think that's a good sign of maturity. You were on a NetTrek League team. You probably remember Bolo too then. Oh man, those are great games. And Muds. Oh man, I used to play a lot of Muds. I used to play a lot of Muds when I should have been doing other stuff in the computer lab. Alright, do we have anywhere else where this is called? User. Fine. I don't. So this should handle everything. So like if I'm in game over now, and game over, run that scene. I think this is set up to a fake. Well, I'm not sure what it's set up to. But if I click this button, it's going to do this code. Couldn't set stats. Get index rank a time. I have a lot of code in here that I just assume it's gonna be okay. Like, because the code doesn't normally run through this path, right? Normally I would have played the level and set a time. And so this code just says, look, this will always be there. And so it just uses it without checking it. But when I run the game in this way, where I'm bypassing a lot of other code that's running, it's not always there. Let's just play a level real quick and see what happens. What? How is this failing now? I have function set level. Set level. Stats set level. This was running a minute ago. You guys, this was running a minute ago. Yeah, those mods were dangerous. Those mods and NetTrack. Stats. It's like I've corrupted this level data a little bit by running it this way. Let's do this. If stats.has key, if not, then continue. Why is that failing? Key isn't defined. Oh. And then has, is that a thing on dictionaries? Let's do this. Stats as dictionary. No. It is. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Does this work? Nope. Got to do another check here. If not stats as dictionary has key. Okay. Let's play. Let me turn off the dialogue. On, off, on. Go get you. Get out of here. And if I click this, it should go back to the S1 level chooser. Here we go. Perfect. So that means the code got into here and got this campaign from here and did this probably. I guess it might have done this, but I'm certain it did this. Okay, so this all works. So now I'm choosing the right what do you call it? Campaign chooser, depending on what you're playing. And if I start the game, it's also going to pick the last campaign I started, right? And if I go into S2 and start this one, right? And if I start a level from here, Now I'm in S2. And if I quit and restart the game, it's going to remember that I was in S2. Right? Perfect. And if I finish this level, well, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's edit this level real quick. So we'll edit this level. Oh yeah, there's a level editor, guys. And let's put in the level exit right there. And we'll make it not hidden. And we'll play it. Now we can just fly into there, win the level. And if I click this, it'll go back to the S2 campaign. There we go. Yeah, level chooser, level builder, right? So zoom in, zoom out. Let me load a complicated level so we can see kind of some of the stuff. Right. So there's a level. Here's where the player starts. Right. And it's got all the stuff. Let me see if I bring in the player. I can fly over here, and then I can just jump back into the editor. And I've still got my ship, so I can like do this. I can move this guy around. I can do something like that. And then I can play it again from here. And then stuff like, you know, lasers, you can kind of preview how everything's going to work and look, what it's going to aim, right? And then you can do things like, where's a button? You can put a button, for example, and then I can say when this button is pushed, when it's opened, then I want to open this, and when this is closed, I want to close the laser. So when the button's opened, it'll open the laser. When the button's closed, it'll close the laser. And then I can play from there. Oh, but now I'm stuck. Anyway, so this all works. All this level choosing, sector map choosing stuff works. So now that all that works, I can, one thing that I'm noticing right away is that my level choosers for campaign 1 and campaign 2 are identical, essentially. Right, this is season 1, and this is season 2. And they're identical. And because my season 1 is kind of this red, rocky world, and my season 2 is this icy world, I think I'm going to add some additional flavor to each of these level choosers. This one I'm going to add, you know, more red stuff. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Justias. I don't know, maybe I'll leave this one the way it is. And then when you get to season 2, then this, I'm going to put little icicles all over everything. I might change the visualization of the long-range scan here. Maybe this long-range scan is going to be more, should be red. This long-range scan should be blue. I don't know. But I'm going to add little, you know, flourishes all over here. Maybe I should put in the ice asteroids, and here will be the ice asteroids, and here will be the rocky asteroids. This will have more rocky decorations, and this will have more icy decorations. But other than that, the functionality, the code's all the same. It's just the appearance of these two scenes are going to be a little different to get you into the atmosphere of it. So let's add that to the to-do list. Checklist. Add icy details to chooser S2. Add red rocky details to chooser S1. Yeah. All right, let's do a commit. So I've got all this code working now. Let's unstage you, unstage you, unstage you, unstage you. Let's just do the code first. So here, yeah, saving the current campaign, starting out on the campaign that you started in or that you played last. This is just a cleanup, I guess it's doing. Hey, KT Wondersheep, thanks for the follow. This is game over, going back to the correct campaign. This is the season 1, season 2 level choosers. This is resetting a campaign, right? It needs to know which campaign to reset. This is some error checking. When you're starting a level, error checking, error checking, error checking, error checking. What is this? This is just Godot cleaning up after itself. See, I haven't edited some of these scene files since, version 3.1 or something. And so the format's just changed a little bit, so it's cleaning it up since I resaved it. Error checking. Is this correct? Is this the same code? This equals OK. This equals OK. This equals this. Yeah, that's exactly the same code. It's just a little bit more verbose. And that was so I could print out this error value because I was having a bug before. So this is error checking and default. And yeah, this is my note to myself about setting config values before the config has been loaded and reminding myself why I don't want to do that. So this is all, what do we call this? Season 2 level chooser. Season 2 level chooser. And these are prototype levels for season 2. Oops. All right. So I still need to do, God, what was it? There was something about this that I still needed to do. Because you're in here, you're playing. Oh, I still need to do unlock season 2. So I need to add button on S1 to go to S2, add button on S2 to go to S1. And I need to write code to lock S2 until S1 has been completed. Right? Do I want to have people play these in sequence? Do you have to finish season 1 before you can play season 2, or should I just unlock them both? Should I just unlock both campaigns and you can play whichever one you want? But if you start at S2, there's not going to be a tutorial. It's not going to tell you how to play. It's going to be really hard right from the beginning. Whereas S1 has a long tutorial. It has like 3 or 4 levels of tutorial, basically. It's kind of important that people play those, because if you don't play those levels, you don't know how to play, really. And if season 2 is unlocked from the get-go, then you might go, God, maybe if you're really good or whatever, you might be like, level 1 of season 1 was boring. I'm just going to skip to season 2. And then you'll play season 2, level 1, and you'll be like, oh my God, that was so hard. This game sucks. And then you might also say, if season 2 is locked, you might say, you know what, level 1 of season 1 was boring, and I can't play season 2. This sucks. I quit. Or you might say, well, I guess I don't have any choice. I guess I'll just keep playing level 1, level 2, and level 3, and level 4. I don't know. Maybe I should just leave it unlocked. I mean, if people want to play it a certain way, who am I to argue with them? Should S2 be locked? I don't know. Yeah, that's true, right? Like, I've already seen season 1. I get it. I'm just going to jump into the hard stuff. Oh, yeah. Age of Empires 2. Yeah, they had a good tutorial. It's funny you mention that, because like a lot of the stuff that I think I know about history actually comes from Age of Empires and Civilization. I know a lot of stuff about military units from those ages only because of those games. And like, I don't know, sometimes it's like a trivia question, or, you know, it's on Jeopardy or something. I'm like, phalanx. Oh, you know, whatever. And people are like, how do you know that? Oh, your neighbors met each other in World of Warcraft. That's cool. And you met your friend and his wife got married on Valhalla. Mr. Elliptic, thanks for the follow. The first in-game marriage. That's cool. Have I ever considered using unit testing in my game projects? Gresset69. Have I ever considered using unit testing in my game projects? I have considered it. Considered and rejected. I don't know. I think if I was writing unit tests, I wouldn't be nearly as far along in this game as I am now. Not that I write great code that doesn't need testing, but like in the bugs that I was having today, I wouldn't have written the right tests for those. I know that. I know that about myself. I'd have written different tests, and those tests probably would have passed even today with the bugs that I was having. It's hard to say. And I'm just a solo programmer here. I'm doing this on my own. I've written 100% of this code. Well, I was about to say I've written 100% of this code myself, but frankly, my Twitch stream, you guys have helped me a lot writing this game. I've gotten a lot of suggestions, a lot of help from people watching. So I've been typing it into the keyboard myself. And just since it's just me, it's hard to justify spending extra time on unit testing when the value is, I think, questionable at best. And I would where I would like some testing is I would like to be able to harness something where you can actually play the game and listen to the sounds and look at the graphics and make sure it all looks and plays correctly. But I have no idea how to do that. I think that would be a more valuable test for me. Have something just open the game, open each of the screens, make sure they all look right, play the first level, play the second level, play the last level in each campaign, make sure that the win conditions were achieved, make sure all the graphics looked right, make sure all the animations were playing correctly, and make sure all the sounds were playing correctly and the music, then test all the options and do it all again. Some kind of test system that would do that, I would love. And that would exercise every line of code in the game. But I don't know how that's possible. Tutorial skips, perhaps. Yeah. Men of culture. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, KT Wondersheep, you can always warn if season 2 before season 1 that's designed to build on previous knowledge. Yeah, that's actually a good approach, right? Because I like people. I like letting people just do what they want, really. And if you want to skip it, you can skip it, man. Add warning to season 2 screen chooser if season 1 not completed, that they should probably do the tutorial first in this one. But hey, man, live your best life. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So this means I don't have to write a whole bunch of code, which is perfect for me, and people can do what they want, and I can ship the game sooner, and it's fine. All right, did I commit all this stuff? I did. We're looking okay here. Looking okay here. All right, we're good. Everything's pushed. All right. Tests are written for known unknowns. Yeah. Oh, I got to stretch. Yeah, I am going to stretch. Actually, I have to go. So, I'm going to stretch. Thank you for the reminder to stretch. If you guys come back, there are some other rewards. You can name an astronaut in the game. You can name a planetary body, walls, things like that. We put in fun catchphrases that the astronauts that you rescue sometimes say. And you can make suggestions for that kind of stuff too. So lots of fun stuff you can redeem your points on. Yeah, lots of business logic. Yeah, I mean, I think testing in theory is good. Testing for games is probably harder than testing, a business app or a web service or something. It's just all this visual gameplay interactivity stuff that's hard to plan for. And every time I add new features, I would have to write some tests, write the features. Well, but I wouldn't even do it that way, though, because when I'm writing code, I don't even know what code I want to write yet. So I can't write the test first. I've got to write this code first, refactor it 2 or 3 times, see how it feels. And then, and that's another thing, right? I do so much refactoring in this where I'm cleaning up old stuff. I would just be rewriting tests constantly. And I just ain't got time for that. It's not going to happen. But I have thought about it. It was a nice thought. I liked watching it sail by. All right, so we've got some stuff for the to-do list. I've got to split. If if you guys have any questions about anything, drop it in the Discord. I'm happy to talk and answer anything you guys want to talk about. I'm going to be back Thursday morning around the same time. We'll do some more work on this sector map stuff. And maybe do a little bit of graphic detail. Maybe this will be fun. Icy details to Chooser 2. We'll add these buttons and the warning. Yeah, we'll do that next time for sure. I'm still working on the assets for this guy. I need animations and sound effects, editor icons, and I'm probably going to do most of that off stream, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll put up a thing in a minute. You can go to gravityace.com and see the links for everything. I don't have any bots running in here. And I don't know what the Discord link is. But go to gravityace.com. All the links for all the things are there. Thanks for dropping in, everybody. If you haven't seen gravityace.com, please go to gravityace.com, click the links to all the things, follow all the things, tell all your people about Gravity Ace, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for your help, everybody. Take it easy.